Hello. 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 Folks, hello. How are you? I I'm all right, but I don't know. Today was a rough day. Just completely drained my brain. And I knew that I wasn't going to really be able to do a decent stream. Like no matter how much I'm into whatever it is that we might be getting up to, like Illbleed, I'm really excited about. I think it's going to be a blast. Um, my brain has been destroyed. So that puts a damper on it for me. You know what I mean? That makes sense. There's so much going on in so many different ways. And I just feel kind of like used up. Mm-hmm. I feel used up. Ah. Yeah, literally just it's just a text element in OBS that I put a gradient on. I didn't have a prepared void screen. That is the JetBrains Mono nerd font with a slight gray gradient. Now, even without it being like tricked out or anything, or fully like, I don't necessarily have everything in it that I want in it, going yet and whatever, but just coming back to my gaming desktop and it's Linux makes me kind of happy every time now. I just feel good about it. I think I feel that way with all of the things lately. I don't know if this will make any sort of sense at all, but I get a strange amount of enjoyment out of simply. By the way, I'm moving around with my wireless mic because I wanted to get a bottle of water. So If it sounds weird, that's why. There we go. Water for me. All the stuff I've been doing to try to disconnect all of my everything from all of the big giant companies. All of that stuff gives me just a weird little feeling of glee. I just derive a lot of happiness from that. I feel like it makes me sound like I am a kind of like a prepper with a bunker. You know, just somebody you probably wouldn't want to talk to. But I feel like my reaction to everything that's going on is pretty rational. Any like peace and serenity? I don't know if I have much peace and serenity. A documentary series called Suddenly Amish, where people leave their hectic tech-connected lives behind. Yeah, I don't think I'll... I don't think I'm going to go suddenly Amish. But I understand that sentiment. I mean, basically, it's just disconnecting. Commonly, people, have indicated that it's typically a positive thing to disconnect from all the bullshit regularly, right? Shut off the phone, get off the social media, yada, yada, yada. God, I wish everyone and their brother didn't have a fucking newsletter. I don't want your goddamn newsletter. I'm never going to read your newsletter. Sorry. I still like technology. I just have been disillusioned because the people who own most or much of the technology are evil fucks for the most part. And if I want to continue to enjoy technology, I need to do it free of their influence and control. That's just where I'm at with it, And it's one of those things that I think people will say you can't. And it definitely, on the surface, appears difficult to do. But I'm finding that, like, with a little bit of, effort and research and learning, it's not that hard to do. It's not even necessarily that expensive to do. I'm surprised people don't think AI when you say sparkle button. I've done this before and had the same experience of people going, huh? um, but every fucking app has the stupid sparkle button on it that has, that does the AI things. No, you're good. I'm not. I wasn't making fun of you or anything. Yeah, like the newsletter that made me say that was Backblaze. I just recently made a Backblaze account because I'm using them for my offsite backups from the server. And they started sending me a fucking newsletter about bullshit industry storage news crap. I didn't ask for that. I don't want that. I just want to use your service. I don't want your fucking manifesto. Not to mention the fact that companies that send newsletters are unhinged about it. Like, I don't need an email from Backblaze every other day. Backblaze is not my whole life. Even if I was reading the shit that they were sending. I don't know. In my experience, food, a lot of the stuff is very invasive, at least initially. Like, you can't glide past, for instance, the giant modal that Google throws in your face now to try to get you to use Gemini. And I've experienced it in various of their apps. On my phone, I've opened Gmail and they've thrown a giant Gemini modal at me. So, the icon itself, for the most part, is ignorable because I'm never going to use it. It's just a little icon up in the top right that I never touch. But sometimes they throw this shit in your face. And it's very fucking annoying. And I mean, they put it in areas too that just make me lose all confidence. Like in Gmail, for instance, boy, I do not want that shit anywhere near my fucking email. So I'm in the process of migrating off of Gmail. There was a post on Blue Sky that I reposted today where someone made a block list for uBlock Origin for all of the AI helper stuff in all the things. So if you look at my Blue Sky profile, you should be able to find that. Seems like it would be pretty useful. I haven't installed it myself yet because I've been busy. Today was a very busy work day for me. Very, very busy. I'm getting the post for you guys. Here it is. Can we forcibly remove the money-obsessed people from companies and give them back to the people that actually want to make good products? Yeah, I mean, I wish that there was something we could do to put things on a better track. Abandon capitalism? Question mark. Unfortunately, it is just the nature of corporations to become this because the imperative to make infinite profit dictates this outcome. There's no way around that. There are no companies that are just going to right-size themselves. As far as companies go, if they are not evil yet, it's just because they haven't been successful enough yet to monopolize whatever it is their corner of the thing. And as always, I would just say, the evidence is all around us. We are surrounded by it, immersed in it. I don't trust any corporation. I like Costco for some of the things that they do currently, but it's only a matter of time. And because I've said this before, but all of these things are a forever war. There isn't a point at which you win. And the problem is that people, people forget. Especially like if you have a period of time, if you imagine that we won, right? Somehow we won. We made all the corporations split up. We got universal health care. Yada, yada, yada. What would likely happen is that there would be a period of time where this is the status quo and blah, blah, blah. But during the status quo, people will become basically start to take it for granted and forget what it took to get there. And slowly but surely, they'll stop maintaining or protecting against the chipping away. Yeah, they'll become complacent. That was the word I was looking for, yeah. They'll become complacent. And meanwhile, because I mean, this is what happened. This is what happened to the United States. After the Great Depression and the war, we had the New Deal. And that established a lot of things that were and are extremely important to the health of the United States internally. Great systems were established, like Social Security. It brought on an era of prosperity. But ever since then, over the course of 80 years, like these were efforts that were passed down from parent to child over the course of 80 years. The people worked against those things. Mainly greedy people. It led to stuff like the Heritage Foundation. This is a lot of why we're so caught off guard now, is that for tens of decades, really awful people have been developing means and strategies and plans and have been dismantling the system while people were just unaware, either uneducated or apathetic or complacent or whatever. Not everybody was unaware. I mean, there were plenty of people, progressives, calling this shit out, waving the flag, like, hey, bad things are going on. Like that shit where you'll hear, I mean, like, if you watch Last Week Tonight, they do their research deep dives into things, and you'll learn about, for example, there was one where, I don't remember what the exact topic was, but basically it involved a lawyer guy and a billionaire, and they just fund essentially creating situations that don't actually exist in order to walk them up to the Supreme Court. They're just sort of manufacturing a non-existent scenario as an alley-oop to their buddies on the Supreme Court, so the Supreme Court has the sort of plausible deniability to do something awful. These are people that have been essentially trying to walk back, protections against monopolies and walk back the Civil Rights Act and so on and so forth. And they have been extremely successful. We didn't defeat racism It's a forever war. If you stop fighting it, it comes back. There are people alive now who are older than civil rights, essentially, right? Who are avowed, unashamed racists. They didn't go away. We didn't win. We just stopped fighting. That's how all these things seem to go. That's why there's a sort of ebb and flow to it all. So, yeah. I love to get on my my www.twitch.tv channel and say cool things that make people happy. I'm very good at making sure everybody has a fun time. Oh, is there a thing for this? Strauss-Howe generational theory. Oh, someone said saculum earlier. I guess referring to this. No, you're definitely not going off the deep end, Valencia. I was talking to Nakomi earlier about how this is also, like, you're not going to get any, like, unique insights from me. Everything that I can think of has already been thought of. But I was thinking about the strange quality of how I was thinking about this because of the way that the fuckheads talk in the Epstein emails, and how the way they talked then really, like, percolated into the entire sort of right-wing psyche in the United States, because right-wingers in general now just sort of talk the way that they did. And there was also this weird thing that they were doing in those emails of, like, they are the conspiracy, but they would still talk about, like, the far left as a conspiracy that they have to fight against or something. And it was so weird and surreal because their conspiracy that they were talking about is imagined, and they are the conspiracy that everyone imagines. But that also led me to thinking about how the right wing has been doing forever this thing where they constantly, they call everything the far left, the far left, the far left. And they say that the far left is going to do X, Y, and Z. And a lot of it is like, they're authoritarians and they're gonna get rid of your free speech and blah blah blah, because of, like, they take something that's sort of true, like that left-leaning people, there's a lot of, like, verbiage stuff in left think, right? Like pronouns and what terms should be used to refer to certain peoples or something like that, in terms of, like, avoiding harm. And the right wing distorts that into far left authoritarian thought police, anti-First Amendment, right? That's the way that they talk about it. They take everything like that and they make a mountain out of a molehill because it serves them to do that, obviously. But what's weird is how the sort of fictitious far left that they've created, that doesn't exist and has never existed, is them now. All the things that they say to people to make them afraid of this authoritarian far left that doesn't exist are the things that they do. And again, this is not some like unthought thing. I'm not like really, this is a road well traveled, of course, but it is wild how they continue to stay inside of that bubble as it goes. They don't recognize the fact that like they'll be saying that the far left wants to take away your free speech while they are actively, demonstrably, evidentially curtailing free speech, killing somebody for carrying a weapon as protected by the Second Amendment, and not to mention all the other amendment violations, the Fourth Amendment violations, the so on and so forth. Like what happened to, you know, that you can't enter like someone's home without a warrant. You know, this is like the right-wing kooks would yell about this stuff. Like, that's why I have to have a gun, because the government might violate my rights and come into my house without a warrant. And then now it's happening, and they're like, this is awesome. What do you mean? So all of that to you is aesthetic and meaningless. It was always aesthetic and meaningless because the only reason that you were saying that those things were important was it was important when it was a stick to beat the left with. But now that you're actually beating the left with a stick, none of those things are important. All of that stuff was purely aesthetic. The people who claim to stand on principles the most are standing on quicksand. It's just such a tiring world to live in every day that this is the reality, right? That everything is a lie, a constant lie. Just a totally made up reality that doesn't exist. It's all that with them, Frumple, and it's also all projection because they will say that that's what we do. All of the things that they're doing, they say they're not and we are while they're doing it. And they'll say that while they're hitting you in the face with it. You know, while they're actively doing the thing, like murdering someone in the street, they'll say they're not and also you are. Right in front of your eyes. So that is the paradigm that they operate on, is rules for thee, not for me, or whatever. This is also why the whole like trying to you can't win by pointing out their hypocrisy because it's irrelevant. It's like it's a different language. We don't have the ability to communicate across that barrier. You'll never win by pointing out their hypocrisy to them. That's why I say grow the divide. Don't heal the divide. Grow the divide. Let's make the divide as big as it can be. It's hard to say, Fox. I think it's more of a mixture. I think it's a mixture of things. I think there's just all kinds is how I see it. Because if you look at them individually, like if you look at somebody like Stephen Miller, I think Stephen Miller is a true believer. I think Stephen Miller is genuinely a a Nazi. He would deny the name, but he is 100% that in all but name. Like, just look at his actions and listen to his words, and that's all you need. And he is very shrewd. He's not a bumbling doofus. But Elon, who you've just brought up, Nin, is a bumbling doofus. He's an asshole. He's just like he's Dunning-Kruger is what he is, basically.
I've made a hat.
Nakomi has made a hat.
But following her directions, it says to go like to the top of my eyebrows. So I did.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually cover like all of my ears. So maybe I'm a freak.
Maybe you're a freak.
Yeah.
I don't think you're a freak. But I think a different hat design might be better.
Do you think it's ugly?
I'm gonna just be honest. It kind of looks like a head condom. It doesn't have a brim.
Yeah, I did that on purpose.
It would look better because it looks too weird for it to just kind of come down and end. Like it's like a skin cap, but made out of wool.
I haven't looked yet.
It's not like it's awful. You made it well for what it is. But do you see what I'm saying?
Such a difference.
Well, now it just looks like it's too small. I do think it makes a difference. I know. No, that's what I think it does make a difference, but that just because you're losing the length, like it needs to be built into the hat, basically.
I didn't do a brim on purpose because I think the brims look kind of dumb.
Okay.
I mean, not for everybody else, but just.
Yes, knitted. Is it knitting or crocheting? Oh, it's crochet.
They just hats don't fit me right, so it looks like I have a condom with an air bubble at the top. I think the condom's gonna happen no matter what because it's a knit hat.
I think you look fine in this hat. I think you're being overly self-conscious about it.
Well, this one's way too big.
Yeah, it is big.
Okay, even my machine one. It's
not. Okay. I don't hate your hat. I don't hate it.
Everybody hates my hat.
Everybody heard me say, I'll give you my honest take.
Yeah, you fucking hate it. That's not fair, Valencia. There's also small, weird needles with a cord in between them.
A cord?
Cord.
Oh.
It doesn't mean I can't give him shit about it.
It does feel like punishment for being honest.
Anyway, I actually kind of like it without the fold.
Okay. If you like it, you like it. It doesn't look bad.
I think it would also look better. Like,
Actually, I kept trying to think of, like, what is it making me think of? And it's making me think of, like, the 60s or 70s. 60s, I think. I don't know if I'll be able to find what I'm thinking of, but I think I'm correct on this.
That's all brim.
Yeah, not that.
I would totally make one of those. I would make a crochet bonnet.
I feel like I'm correct on this. Maybe it's it's actually, this is kind of in the territory, I think.
No, it is not.
It's not anywhere the same, but I think that might have been what I was thinking of, which it's not like that. Is it? Maybe it's further back. I don't know what terminology would bring the right sort of thing. I think like this is kind of what that is bringing to mind. I mean, if you put like a flower on the side of that, you kind of are there.
I could crochet a flower.
You could. I don't know, what is this called? Wedding hats? I don't think that's a term. That's another. There's another.
Wait, there's a terminology one.
Yeah, but the hat we were just looking at, it's not present. Oh well.
Is it kind of like a felt?
Kind of. Well, yeah.
The point is that I painstakingly actually finished a whole project. I made a matching scarf and hat. Now my hands kind of hurt.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Tomorrow I'll probably start yours.
Okay. Regarding Elon, we actually have a lot of evidence, Arfi, that he is not an intelligent engineer. There's a lot of stories from the PayPal days where basically all of his decisions, and whenever they actually made a sandbox for him. They made a special sandbox for him without telling him that he could code in without realizing that his stuff wasn't production. He is just a guy with money. That's all it is. He has, as other people have said, failed upwards. He got a lot of money from the PayPal thing, and then he was, I guess if he is good at anything, he was really effective at tricking people into thinking that he was some sort of an engineering genius. And he leaned on things that were honestly more appealing to left-leaning people and causes, right? He really leaned into the, electric cars, solar, space travel stuff. Like all these things are kind of appealing. Not every single thing, but a lot of it is appealing to sort of progressives and so forth, who care about the environment. Like there was a lot of caring about the environment stuff, but the truth of the matter is, it was always just leaning into. It was always just charlatan stuff, snake oil. His actual ideas and things are pretty much always bad, and everything good that's come from all of these companies has been happenstance. It's been other people under him who managed to do things because of, money. And yeah, he has been bleeding our government of money. I think that's been most of the game, has been to kind of step in and vacuum up the money that was meant to incentivize, building renewable energy projects and things like that. So I would say that in a way that is really difficult for people to wrap their heads around, while they perceive Elon's efforts and companies to have been like technological advancement and innovation, I think that the long view and a real full big picture view, Elon has actually held us back from true innovation and progress as much as oil companies have, or any others. If you watch the latest Technology Connections video and seriously watch the entire thing, including the ending, I think you'll have a good sense of how, like, for instance, we have the ability now to essentially have infinite, clean, renewable power. We can have that now with just solar. We don't need a fusion reactor. We don't need an array of data center satellites. But we can't do these things because we are being held down and our precious materials are being sucked from our bodies. That's the real priority. The priority is to suck all the money out of us as fast as possible. Trust me, it's a video well worth your time. By law. By law. What's up, Dave? I will be in New York, Dave, pretty soon. But it's not going to be enough of a visit to really meet up or anything like that. I'll be in New York for work. I know. I will allow this. You and Taffy both doing this to me. Fuck you. What did Taffy do? Is Taffy visiting New York without you as well? This will be my first visit to New York ever. He keeps coming to New York for like 6 hours repeatedly. Oh, wow. Justin ain't even in New York. Oh, yeah, because what Rudy said, yeah. I would say it's worth moving possibly to the front of your list, Sith, but you do you. It is a long fucking video. But it's really worthwhile. It's kind of like his magnum opus, I think. Arknight's Endfield, Factory Logistics. I don't know what that is. Let me look that one up. Arknight's. Endfields. How do you even say that? Is it Arknights or Arknights? Oh no, it's a gacha game. Oh no. I'm looking at the trailer now. It's Arknights. Gotcha. Yes. All right. Grinder. Thank you for 116 months. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it as an anime fan. I find anime themed games are like kryptonite to me. I don't know what it is, but they just sort of do nothing for me at all. And it's weird because it's just an aesthetic, really. I mean, like every game that has characters, the characters are gonna have a style, but it's like it goes into my brain and hits a switch that turns stuff off. I can't explain it. Yeah. No, I mean, you don't have to defend it or anything like that. Like, I'm just saying, like, how I feel. I also I don't like gacha games at all. Not even a little bit. This trailer is pretty good, though, I'll say. It's pretty stylish. Like the music, but I have no idea what's happening at all. I think that's what I find off-putting with a lot of the anime games. Where you're hit with just when you watch a trailer for them, it's just sort of it's the natural progression, I guess, of where anime style stuff has gone. But so much of it for me, I find to be and I guess this is going to make me sound like 1,000 years old, but I just don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm looking at most of the time. Because there's just if anime is involved, it seems like you're also going to be hit with just a storm of visual fucking bullshit. No, I know. Again, I'm just saying this is what I experience when I go to investigate these things. I'm not. Nobody has to defend. If they like this, awesome. I am not. I'm not trying to tear it down for anybody or judging anybody, anything at all. I'm just saying this is how I feel when I look at this stuff. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do feel like every anime thing has 1,000 characters, and I just am like, I don't understand. How do you keep track of all this? One other factor for me that has really turned me off of sort of general anime, not all anime, but just the sort of general case, is I'm really tired of the all the female characters being high school age. They're all essentially underage. Like, there's so much of that. It's basically the whole. It's like 99% of it all. I just don't. I don't like it. I totally get that. I haven't scratched that itch in a while, but like when I get hooked by one of those games, I do get hooked. Oxygen Not Included did that for me for a minute. Something about the way that you had to like manage temperature and gases and pressure and all that stuff, and all the things you could kind of do to manipulate that system just really tickled something in my mind. Yeah, food, but the origin of the tropes of anime originate in Japan. Packrat, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Ponderers. I will be upfront and tell you that I'm on the cusp of winding down. Unfortunate timing there, but welcome nonetheless. I hope you had a lovely night. I don't, yeah, I don't know how to help you, Food. I feel like you're like intentionally misunderstanding. Ugh. It wasn't saying that that is the entirety of the. It doesn't matter, you know. Let's just forget it. Let's just forget it. I'm too tired. I am gonna go ahead and get on out of here because it is late. I'm sorry I didn't do a real stream this evening, but you know. Hey, Gail. Thank you. You too. Hey, video. Yeah. Void valid. But hopefully tomorrow I will be here at our normal broadcast time with more Illbleed, which looks to be absolutely insane, and I'm really looking forward to more of that. So, yeah, just shout. For real. For real. Y'all have a good night. I will see you next stream.